I'll go home eventually anyway. We're not allowed to live at work.
No. No. We can't live here. We'd run out of food.
I don't know. There's food stores nearby.
At least we'd stay warm.
We would stay warm. It's not wet and puddly in the store.
No.
It's cold outside.
Plus we have quilts.
Yeah.
And new flannel. It's pretty.
It's totally flannel weather in Calgary today. If you're not in Calgary, I hope you're enjoying whatever different weather you're having.
It's been so snowy all day here.
My kids asked what they should wear on their feet before going to school this morning. I said running shoes because I hadn't actually looked at the forecast.
Dun dun dun.
Somebody's going to be annoyed at me when I get home. Oops. But just assume it's April. We're done with this business. We're not.
Oh, heavy snow in the north of the city.
Yeah. Getting pictures from my aunt's house in the north. There's like 2 inches on my deck. I was like, oh.
Oh, goodness.
We are cozy.
They are so cozy.
We found warm, cozy quilts today.
Leah said we're doing a flannel, and I was like, ooh, I know where there's a stash of rag quilts for us to cuddle.
I like hiding under a rag quilt.
Spring in Alberta.
This is spring in Alberta. It's totally normal. Right, Barb?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need flannel quilts year-round in Alberta.
Yeah.
It's always flannel.
Quilts.
Yeah, we're playing AccuQuilt today.
Cool. I like AccuQuilt.
We're gonna go big or go home on some rag quilting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Barb's getting a sneak peek.
Yeah, no.
I think she's
I
snooping.
have an AccuQuilt baby.
Aww.
And he's really easy.
She's little.
But it cuts just about all of them.
Oh. Yeah, Carol said that she loves rag quilts, but she's never made one. So I made a rag quilt for my son,
Yeah.
and I snipped the whole thing by hand.
Ooh, with these things?
I didn't even have anything this fancy, like the spring-loaded ones.
Just regular scissors?
Yeah, I could do like a block
Ouch.
a night. It took me weeks
I bet it
and
did.
weeks and weeks to rag this quilt. He still has it on his bed sometimes.
Oh, I'm glad it's lasted this long.
It's lasted great. And it's just got more and more scrumptious the more I've washed it through the years.
My mom made a rag quilt, and I think it took 2 or 3 years, maybe more. She started it before I moved out. And I think she's done now.
Nice.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to like 2 for Tuesday at my sewing room
2 for Tuesday!
with Leah and Chelsea.
Where we're getting snuggly.
Yeah, snuggly quilt time. Part of what prompted this was we got some flannel in this week.
It's
Arrived. We don't always expect to get flannel in April.
No, not when it's 36 weeks from Christmas.
250 days.
That's not many.
250 days. Think how many quilts you could make before Christmas if you started now.
Or you could start your buying now, procrastinate, and then
And still do it the
Christmas
week
in
before
July.
And still
Oh, that
do it the week before Christmas.
That works too.
I had Christmas in July last year. We called it Julymas.
Oh, that's adorable.
And we had like all the Christmas things. Like, did we do ham or turkey? I don't know. We barbecued it. We had a tree set up. We did gifts. There was wrapping paper. It was ridiculous. It was our COVID solution because we weren't able to have Christmas together the year before. Yes. Julymas. So I'm getting ready for Julymas again. So
Nice.
yes, Christmas themed fabric. The flannel in behind us is called Snow Days.
It's perfect for today.
It's got some cute snowman on it. It's really pretty flannel. It's super soft. It's Maywood Studios
so cute.
flannel.
And this one's a panel.
Yeah.
You could totally do this panel and quilt as you go, rag quilts on the edges.
Yeah.
It would look so cool.
You could do a panel without ragging and do ragged blocks around the outside. You don't have to rag the whole thing if you decide to rag your quilt, depending on how you sew your seams. So the big difference between a rag quilt and a regular quilt, all your seams are exposed on a rag quilt,
Yeah.
and they're all trimmed so they all get fuzzy and
We want it to fray.
yes. The whole goal here is to get it to fray. It gets fuzzy and
Cozy.
like really nice texture.
And only one side is like that, though. The other side is all smooth.
Yep, because all the
Take mine
seam
out.
allowances are
so we can see it.
facing the same way. So that would be like the right side of your regular quilting, and then the wrong side. And it's much wider seam allowances. These are probably done with inch-wide seam allowances instead of 1/4 inch.
I think so.
And most of the flannel that we have here in the building is in that 40 to 44 inches wide. Kind of standard fabric width.
It's a good size,
It is.
especially when you're cutting a whole bunch of rag quilt squares.
Yeah. So I was touching flannel earlier today and thinking I should make more flannel shirts for next winter because they're nice and warm.
I definitely forgot some flannel prints.
Yeah, I could have like a Christmas flannel.
Or some pajamas.
Oh, if it's not listed on the website, it will be up very soon. Like really, it arrived yesterday.
Yeah,
It will be here soon.
I definitely kidnapped it out of receiving today.
So wait patiently. Wait patiently. The Snow Days flannel will be up soon.
Very soon.
Very soon. Yeah, so Snow Days flannel. And what else have you got back there?
Ooh.
Ragging scissors. So if you wanted to do rag quilting the old way, or the very lovingly hand-snipped way. Lovingly hand-snipped.
I like that.
Rag quilting scissors, the nice thing about these, I'm just going to pop them out of the package. They have a big spring in them. So if you were to, that's this camera. So these are rag quilting scissors. And they have a big spring in them, which makes it easier to open. So then you only have to do the squeeze down action. Which is a whole lot easier on your wrist. Because if you have to pull scissors open, that's kind of a whole second action that your wrist isn't really designed for ergonomically.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like this, our bodies are really meant to squeeze like that. This, they don't even have the openings to do that for you. So big spring, and then you can keep them closed. And they've got blunt ends, so you're not going to go through the seams. You're just going to butt up next to the seam.
Oh, that's perfect.
If you're going to rag quilt. So
Safety scissors.
you could rag quilt this way, or the other way you could rag quilt is you could pay the rag quilt kit cutting fee.
Yeah. Or we have some pre-made ones.
So Dawn has a magical formula for how much fabric you need, either flannel or quilting cotton, and we can pre-rag these for you.
Then all you have to do is fun things.
Yeah, you just have to stitch this together. Like super quick, easy baby gift. I found out somebody else that I was pregnant yesterday.
Woo! Rag
However,
quilt time?
Yeah, maybe.
I see that.
Somebody my husband works with
Ooh.
is expecting, which is going to make his life a whole lot more complicated very quickly. But anyway, the rag quilt kits we have will make a rag quilt roughly this size,
Awesome.
which is like baby quilt size.
Yeah, or you could smush two together.
Or 4 together and build
Or
a
4.
giant heavy thing to like snuggle under
Oh my gosh.
around the campfire with. I like big heavy quilts. So if you there's a couple different ways to do this. If you want these really lightweight, just do 2 to 3 layers of fabric. If you want more substance and more bulk and more warmth, we also have pre-cut batting squares that fit inside the pre-cut fabric squares. So you can add batting and keep these a little bit warmer. So if you wanted, we do have the service to cut your kit for you. And I don't know how much it is. Did you write that down?
I did not.
Come talk to us.
But I did kidnap the machine that we used for it.
Sweet. So, when we cut these kits here in store, we use an AccuQuilt studio cutter, which is kind of the industrial version of an AccuQuilt. So we're going to show you what that looks like on our thing, and then you can buy a rag quilt die for the regular AccuQuilts. And I have one of those here, so if you're having trouble cranking quilts out because you can't cut, whether like stability with your rotary cutters or arthritis, or you just want to mass produce quilts and sew all the time.
Yeah, it definitely makes it way faster.
It's so fast.
And you don't have to buy rotary blades.
Right? And you get all these fun shapes in there, the same shape every time. So, I'm going to flip the camera over onto you, my dear.
See if I remember how to use this thing. It's gigantic, and it's not powered.
So this is a hand crank. Yeah, this is the one Dawn uses all the time. It is, I see some pretty significant wear on it.
Actually, I borrowed a brand new acrylic for it
Oh, nice.
from upstairs, so hopefully I don't break the acrylic. That'd be rough.
Yeah. Should I pull that out for you?
Yeah, we'll push this over to this side because then I can crank this way. Yes.
Yeah.
So with this guy, he actually is a wooden base, unlike the ones for home use that are plastic bases.
And it's a whole lot thicker.
Yeah, it's much thicker. So we actually use a conversion kit to lift those ones up.
Yeah.
And use them in this one. So we can use both. So we put it down foam side up.
Yep.
With the blades sitting upwards.
So all those silver things, those are blades.
And Dawn told me that if you have a hard time with your machine getting a little bit stuck going through all the straight edges, you twist your block just a tiny bit.
And then you're not trying to feed all that bulk at that front row right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's
then
awesome.
It kind of goes in a little bit at a time. And she says that she usually does 4 to 6 layers of fabric, depending on what fabric she's using. But every fabric is different.
Yeah.
Not all fabrics are the same. So I'm going to do 2. Because this is my first time doing this.
Okay, sure.
So I just have 2 layers. And I'm going to put them right over my block. Smooth them out.
And you can start with fabric a little closer to the size.
Yeah.
But Chelsea just grabbed weird scraps from the scrap bin.
I went kidnapping today. Kidnapped machines, kidnapped fabric.
You didn't kidnap, you borrowed.
Nothing's safe.
Now what?
All right, now we just put that little acrylic on top.
And that protects the big roller that smushes everything together.
Yeah, and it keeps everything super flat. So we just lay it right on top of everything, and you can see we did some cutting because Dawn was showing me. You can see how it cut a little bit into the acrylic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's supposed to happen because we're pushing a lot of pressure onto this acrylic. So you really want your rollers safe because you can always easily get more acrylic, but it's not as easy to get a new machine.
Yeah.
And then, let's see how we do this. We scoot this up. Get that guy in there. Okay, there we go. And then we roll away. Is that how you do it, Leah?
Yep, go for it.
Really? Oh,
Big muscles,
ah,
Chelsea.
big muscles. Whee! Okay, that was fun. I like this.
So easy. Oh, our rag quilt die has had a lot of use.
I was also monkeying around with it. So I'm just going to tear it out because you know what?
All those edges are gonna fray.
Yeah, they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So that's the fastest. That's the fastest way to make a rag quilt.
Now
To
you
get a rag
have
quilt die,
2 squares that are pre-ragged.
and you'll be sewing just inside that rag.
Mm-hmm.
So it's roughly an inch seam allowance.
Yeah, so I think you'd want to take one of these, right side down, put your batting on top, or your second piece of fabric, then another one of these, right side up, so you have all your pretty sides out. So an X, some fun shapes,
Embroider.
do whatever you want.
I've
really.
embroidered in the middle of them
That's cool.
before. Mm-hmm.
I need to see pictures. That sounds cool.
I don't know. It was a video back on Facebook, probably like 2 years ago.
I can go hunting.
I used really pretty variegated thread.
Ooh.
It was orange and purple.
I always wanted to do something all black with variegated thread.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I think it'd just be so cool.
Yeah. So a little bit of embroidery, a little bit of just like an X through the middle to hold all those layers together. You don't need much. You could do a little bit of free motion in there if you wanted. But you can pre-quilt them, so you're working on just a little piece.
Yeah, it'd be so easy to learn how to do free motion on that small of a scale.
Yeah.
It'd make it so much easier.
Yeah.
I know I hate fighting with a giant quilt when I'm learning.
Yeah. So yeah, that was quick and easy.
It was very painless.
Very painless.
It was surprising. I liked it.
So the other option we have, if watching Chelsea crank through that manual crank is not your cup of tea, the one I'd recommend for anybody at home who's thinking they want to be able to do this but are worried about like a bad shoulder or like repetitive strain injury from quilting It's not what we want. This is a go big, so this fits 12-inch dies across and as long as they are. So some of them are quite long. There's some dies that can cut like 1-inch strips, 2.5-inch strips. There's some smaller dies that can do basic shapes. So if you want to make a half square triangle quilt, and you're making it out of scraps, you can decide, do I want this size of half square triangles or this size?
Or you can do flying geese with that one too.
Oh, that is a flying geese die.
Yeah, if you're like me and you're not very accurate, this would be very helpful.
Right? So I've got, I don't know, 4 layers of fabric there. Oh, that one's not going to be quite big enough.
Oh, there's a really big green one here. Would you like this one?
We don't have to go across the whole thing. I'm just going to go across the
Oh, that's
smaller
true.
ones.
We can just layer our fabrics however we want. The maximum layers I think John was saying we would want with quilting cotton is about 6 to 8, depending on the thickness of our cotton.
Yeah. So again, same thing. We'll put that kind of the acrylic protection plate over. And then this one, there's an on button. And I haven't used this one. Where are you?
It's excited.
Why doesn't it want to go? It looks like it should want to go.
Maybe it just needs some coaxing.
It's got an error message on the screen. I don't know why.
The things only happen like this when we're live.
Right? Worked last time I ran it. What have we done? Close it all up.
We'll make it rethink its choices.
Unplug it. I think it should work.
All right. Round 2.
I can hear it turning like it wants to.
I can too.
Stumped. What a dreadful demo. Last time I... Yeah, it definitely doesn't go that direction.
No, I don't think so. It'd be really funny if it did.
You're right. What have I done? Nope.
Does it want to go sideways?
No. I don't know what this one wants. I'm gonna turn it off all the way. Take its power away. It's my solution to most technical difficulties.
When it's angry, just turn it off and on.
Right? This one's been sitting on the floor a while.
Just needs a nap. Needs a solid nap.
Clearly we should use it more often.
Yes. More fun.
Nope. Yeah, once it's got the red blinky light, it's like, no, I don't wanna. So clearly we will need to find the manual and do this some other day.
To be continued.
To be continued. There's not any other buttons.
There's just one button.
Just one button. I can fix sewing machines.
But not something with one button.
Usually an error message like that means there's something jamming up the system. So we'll find a manual and figure it out. And then give our little floor model some
Maybe
love.
on Friday we can do this again.
Yeah. Something like that. So stumped.
Me too.
Anyway.
Maybe it just doesn't like that one.
Maybe it just doesn't like me.
What if we use the other one?
Let's use the other one.
Let's see what happens. Maybe it'll have rethought itself.
Nope.
Didn't like that one either.
Nope. Clearly I need a manual.
Very fun. Sometimes
There's
even
also,
techs need manuals.
The cranky version.
Should the die be sideways? Maybe.
Maybe.
This is fun. I'm gonna laugh really hard if it had to be this way.
Nope, that doesn't seem to be the way. Nope. There's arrows. I'm following the arrows.
Very good.
I'm stumped.
Me too.
I'm gonna go read a manual.
That sounds
Last
like
time
a
I
good
ran
idea.
fabric through this, it was fine. I don't know when that was. Yes. There is Christmas fabric behind us. AccuQuilt Go dies. I know we need to do an AccuQuilt order pretty soon, so if you have a hankering for a die or
Let
a
us know.
machine, we might not have machines in stock right now, but we will be ordering shortly. So if you're thinking you want one, get your order in before we place our order.
Yeah, we
Probably
can
in the next
pre-order for
week
you.
or so. A week or two. And if you want things rag quilted.
Yeah.
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 So many rag quilts.
I need this.
How big is the die for the
This
rag
is
quilt? The rag quilt die is like a 12 by 12 die. So it would fit in the Go Big.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Go Big Electric. It makes an 8.5-inch square.
I also have 5 1/4 inch ones.
Oh, there's
and
little ones.
It'll do 2 at a time. So this is the 5 1/4. And so it'll cut one and then another. And then actually on the back of this, it's really cool. It's suggesting that we take this one, cut one of these, and then take 2 of these and do that.
Fancy
That's
pieced.
adorable.
Fancy pieced rag quilt.
I love that. Cute, eh? Ooh, or you can applique shapes on your Go Big Rag Square.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
The more you read.
Right? Sometimes you have to flip the packaging over. It's way more interesting on the back. But yeah, big squares, little squares. It's a great idea.
And we have a circle one, rag circle, which I thought was also super interesting.
So like cathedral window rag quilting.
You definitely just totally quilt an orange peel in the middle of them, and it just looks so cute.
Right?
So
That one's
fun.
pretty fun.
I love that.
I haven't played with that one yet. I should.
They're using an itty bitty AccuQuilt in this picture. Just itty
That-
bitty.
No, that's a standard Go Big
With a roller.
with the roller.
Your go cutter.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So
Lots of fun things.
that's kind of what we have for you guys today. What else is going on in the store? We have OSD Stitch Party tomorrow. We're making garden flags with wedding dates. Learning to use lettering in our machines. You can join us virtually. You can join us in person. The email already went out with the Zoom link for those of you who are signed up.
That's gonna be super fun.
There's hand embroidery with Barb on Friday.
Next week is the Brother Cottage Getaway. Nope, is that the next week? My week ahead.
You're like 2 weeks ahead at least.
Nailed it.
The next week we have Kimberbell a la carte.
What we have.
Yeah, that's happening next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be exciting. I love that one.
Yeah. And soon Snow Day Flannel will be on the web
Yeah.
for you to start making Christmas things that are all raggy and wonderful and warm.
Yeah, I actually just put mine on my lap because I couldn't put it down.
I'm nice and warm now.
I am
I'm not
so
leaving.
cozy. It's just been like, I'm just gonna wrap this around, and this is how I'm gonna sit for the rest of my day.
I'm just gonna
I can
hide.
type like this, right?
Yep. I can't. I
Sweet.
could probably drive like this.
You can definitely drive like this, but what do you do when it slides down and tangles up your legs?
Well, I buckle it into my seatbelt.
Oh, safe. I like that.
That's
We
probably
can't
safer
have
than-
we can't have our quilt falling down.
Right? Right? That's the solution. So, I think that's what we've got for you guys today. Tune in tomorrow for Wacky Wednesday.
Oh, I heard that it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard some good things.
I've seen some sneak peeks.
Yes.
And I think heard a couple jokes that
Yeah,
are hilarious.
Like normal Wacky Wednesdays.
I love them.
Wacky Wednesday tomorrow. Wacky Wednesday's always good on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, it is.
4:15. Tomorrow's gonna be spectacular.
Oh yeah. Or are you gonna say like it's gonna be rocking?
It might be rocking. Might be.